He dashed forwards, it was active, but he couldn't use it, and Demon won. The immediate strike back.
Oh, that's unfair.
Yep.
I mean, Foxy just had his wings clipped by Ethan, whose utility was absolutely immaculate on Fracture and continues to be so again here on Ascent. You normally expect Ethan to be over in A main, catwalk kind of area, but he's floating because they have the Killjoy setup over there.
It's a deep lurk though from Boostio. Took up all that space towards A main, he's punished. Just hunting for a bit of that information.
I like that smoke from Mako. It denies any information from people over towards A. But I think Jorgamo's already got the read here. They're searching for information on both sides of the map.
Looks away for a second, RB.
What was he?
I don't know.
Looking at?
I don't know what he's anticipating, man. Maybe somebody's just going to start ghosting around the map. I'm not sure, but that's left the spike out in the open.
Did one of his teammates call that they could have found a timing on him through their own spawn? That is bizarre.
That is really quite odd, but he's missed that one. This reflank, this repush. Stacks still alive, 70 health. Weapon picked up. Trying to take a clean fight. He does offset the movement. No one's really giving him anything, though. They were just buying time for Jorgamo to wrap all the way around to the pistol round for EG. Off to a similar beginning as map number 1.
And it's not just the fact that both of the least experienced players are playing Jet that makes this story between Demon 1 and Foxy9 interesting. It's also the fact that they've come in so recently to teams that have got some level of establishment, and they've been given a huge amount of work to do. And yet, Demon 1, I feel, has instantly fit into the system and propelled his team forwards, and DRX are having constant issues with integration. I don't think much of that is really Foxy9's fault. I'll be pointing it out throughout this attack side, but I have real issues with the way the DRX are playing their attacks recently. It's way too exec heavy, and they don't have these double wave pushes. Again, I'll get into it when there's an example to showcase, but Demon 1 is looking confident already, isn't he?
Look at that, taking liberties against the eco. He's not worried about giving away any of the weaponry. This way, that way.
I like the idea.
Yeah, cheeky attempt. Just up the stacks, though. It's not looking likely here, but EG bringing up the point as well about this map pool depth for both of these teams. It's really quite difficult, I think, to get a hold of where EG might be bad at with their map pool.
Absolutely.
They've had a lot of wins across the board on a multitude of maps. It makes them a difficult team to prep into.
I think they have a very solid map pool. Anything that they spend a serious amount of time on, they seem to get good at pretty quickly. And I couldn't really pick a map where I think DRX has a major advantage. The weaponry advantage, though, is massive in favor of DRX here. We've got what looks like a bit of a mid-crunch between Demon 1 and Boostio. They're just going to look for picks here, I think.
Oh, Demon 1, he's not messing around, man.
So fast out.
Top mid being held. Paranoia so deep. What is that?
Oh, what a shot. The flick is perfect there. The set play, it actually rarely works, that one. But that time finding major value, and that's taking the smokes out too. Makes the attacking round very difficult to call.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gobsmacked still. But a reaction here from DRX. Smoke to block that. Close the door, try and get themselves into this B site. Cleaned out. Angles watchful, nobody anchoring towards the back, so they'll be able to get that plant down, and they still have B main control, but it's a critical one to hold. RB is being swarmed. It's 3 players just trying to take him out here. Deep flash as well. TP into the corner. RB spots, he doesn't know which way to aim.
Perfect play.
It's cleared out. Removing one area of the map as well. This hold just getting a little bit weaker now for DRX. Has to be a massive heroic play, and it just can't be the case here. Dropping right down. How does Jorgamo get it? Every crossfire picked apart, broken to pieces. And it's a bonus round win for EG.
My ult's ready.
Immaculate stuff right from the off. We've seen a lot of teams go for that same kind of play. You smoke off tiles, you paranoia. So take a look at the paranoia here. It does actually catch on to Mako. But most of the time, that player is going to be able to escape, or the Jet ends up getting punished. But everything that EG are doing today is working exactly to punish DRX. And that level of momentum where you pull out a set play to be able to win the bonus.
Oh, let's go!
It just works perfectly. And yeah, Potter's as surprised as we are that Jorgamo was just able to leap into sight and get the kill.
How is he resetting his aim that fast when he's jumping around the corner?
Ludicrous.
Beggars belief, but
to me, I mean, that little... The protocol to clear out B main is so impressive too.
Yeah. Deep flash TP across.
And this is a pistol round setup, actually, on defense here that EG are using, that we've seen a lot of teams go for. Demon 1 takes contact, dashes away, and that sets up Jorgamo hiding in the corner as bait.
The idea is you don't expect the Omen to just be hiding there. Dashing forwards, he has to take care of so much. Dashing away, how is Demon 1 surviving? But here it is, the bait and switch. Triple face up, already taking the fight. Right to them this time. Mako and Stacks holding the ground as well, making sure no players can swing out of heaven.
And they've needed that, DRX. Mako with the Bulldog going nuts there.
He's would have been the player that they can really count on. EG though, still want to make a go of this one. They have the money.
Mako again.
Answering back, picks up the rifle, repositions. Com just needs to get out of there.
He does a little 180 twist step away.
Mako being the playmaker there when they needed it.
And he finishes it as well. I mean, that's a Mako round. He avoids all of the pressure early on, gets away, dodges the paranoia, and he's just set up perfectly with a Bulldog. You see the way that DRX are using the light armor a lot. It allows them to invest on rounds like this. This was a half buy, and yet Mako still had enough to have the Bulldog. I don't think he's able to have that level of impact if he's only got, you know, a Sheriff or a Stinger or something like that. Well, that's a big one. Helps the vibes as well for DRX, because going down 4-0 would have... That's difficult mentally.
Yeah, gets them back into it. Now they're dealing with a different obstacle ahead of them. Demon 1's picked up this... oh, wait, what is this? Leviathan spam?
It's a bit of a fake, so it feels a bit like Leviathan spam. I think the idea being that you drive people into Demon 1's op. Look at how passive Demon 1 is set up on B with that operator. He was hoping that DRX would react into him. He's just having a friendly look at the turret there.
Yeah. Why's he got his sight set on Timmy? What did he do? Well, it still holds it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the turret holding contact in B main is actually pretty useful for them, because they know that B main hasn't been breached by DRX. They've still got a lot of map control and information.
It's been slowed down, entering the minute mark.
And of course, here we have Boostio playing off-site, because there is that null command available for Stacks.
There's a turret. Ready and waiting now. Smoke drop down, flash as well. Demon 1, that's just reactions. Anticipating the swing, and that's just instinct fire, man. It's unreal. Light them up. The supportive utility comes in waves right over. Reinforcements have arrived, and no one will cross the gap. Stacks will get himself into the side. The Shark Dart's lucky to survive. Oh my goodness. 2 health.
He had 1 to spare.
Spike planted, but you have to see a miracle. A big moment, a big step up. Mako, can he do it again? Maybe the potential is there. Flash over the top. They made it winnable, but it's all up to Stacks, and he just can't reset the aim. Player advantage, the health advantage, it was there for EG. Decent try.
Valiant effort, it really was. And Mako and Stacks almost pulling some magic out again. That's what it seems like it's going to require at this point. That's 2 kills where Demon 1 cannot see an opponent, and he's just doing it purely off timing. Unbelievable. Very unfortunate for DRX, because that should be a situation where they're able to play a post plant and get into comfortable spots. You expect maybe to lose 1 to some spam.
Losing 2.
Oh, brutal, especially with the util being that good.
It's insane.
That's tough. That's the null command round taken out. So DRX don't have something mad aggressive to go for.
Where's this going?
That's a nerdy one from Com again. So that makes it feel like the Sova's playing over towards A.
Control taken though. Foxy9 not messing around. Into the corner. Smoke. At his feet, the reposition. A bit of spam as well. A bit further back there. Dart does light up the opposition. Boostio again, he was attempting another reflash. It's a paranoia, they want to push him right into it. They force the dash, he's running the gunning, man! Com getting away with it. Another flash repeat over the top. Pushing back this aggression. EG trying to really get a squeeze into mid, but they do back out. They survive.
They just have so many setups.
Oh. Not slowing it down, are they? Inside the smoke, they can hear the footsteps. Jorgen was hoping, hunting for the timing. Demon 1 takes it. 1 player left standing, it's Mako. We talked about miracles, but how do you overcome that?
Keep it up.
On map 1, the gun rounds went 6-2 in favor of EG, and it was a complete outplay. I mean, the little set plays, the larger strategy, it all went the way of Evil Geniuses. And DRX are taking a timeout here as Termi gets to talk to the team. To me, it looks like the same thing again, and not enough respect being given. This is one of the downsides, actually, of running Foxy9 in this roster, is that I feel like he doesn't have the same experience and discipline. He's not as meticulous with how he enters into areas. When he got stuck in close mid there wasn't an anticipation that he might get crunched. He didn't back off into mid, regroup with the rest of his team. He stayed isolated, stuck between the arches, and picked off first. That was a paranoia that came through from Jorgamo, from Catwalk. You know, so many elaborate set plays. And if DRX are getting caught by those traps, EG are going to run away with this half.
Stop EG, I mean, listen, man.
Is that a command for DRX, or is that an angry fan? I'm not sure. They're trying.
Oh, they are certainly trying, but that's what the timeout's for, man. Come up with some solutions, but it's going to take an evolution of DRX, I think, as well, because they are so, you know, setup heavy, exec heavy, or whatever. But when EG are able to pry open those timings in between, when the setup's there, when players are getting in position to find a util, it just breaks them apart.
Yeah. And when DRX have gone for those slow exploratory plays, EG are picking them to pieces.
Yeah.
We talked about the Jet battle at the beginning of this map, and the defense side is easier for Jets usually.
Some counter spam potentially from Buzz here.
Oh yeah.
Odin for Odin. Flash over the top though.
He's backed it up
as well. Yeah, he has backed it up.
Yeah, the Jet differential currently is ridiculous. Foxy9 0 and 5, I think, maybe more than that. And Demon 1 has 9 kills.
Here's the setup again. Flash is nice. Jorgamo though. Oh my god. Again, the shots coming through. When you remove the Jet player, good luck. Tags down. Drone for a drone. Already into the site. Just got to try and brute force this one. Popping all over the place. Com striking him down. Damage is done. Mako responds. Flick to the side.
He's been completely saving them on these A hits.
Here's a lockdown though. This is going to be pushing them all the way back. RB doesn't have the ult to try and break this one. Door still down as well. You're going to have to move away from the site. Mako has the ult. He's going to try and dodge this one as well. In play, down into hell. It's cleared out though. Com aware. Has to be. No, Mako there. Gets him. Demon 1 still alive with the knives. In and around, trying to force a fight as well early off, but it's a 1v4. There's the one. But okay.
Just go A and let Mako 1v5 them. That's all you have to do, DRX.
Apparently.
It's ridiculous. This guy's defending them from the flood. Then he goes into backside, into hell, and he dodges the ult. Dodges the lockdown with his own ult. And then he cleans up Demon 1 at the end. How Com doesn't get that kill, I'm not quite sure, but it's all Mako. From beginning to end. The vibes can't be too bad in that camp.
He's 10 out of 5.
Yeah. He's the only thing currently that's keeping them in it. They've won 2 rounds on A, where Mako's got 3 and then 4 kills.
Delayed knives. That one broken though, so on the defense side, EG not getting any information. But yeah, Mako has been the only thing keeping them in it. Able to keep these buys going.
Buzz has been struggling with B main control. Turret takes early contact there in B main, and he's worried that Demon 1's operator could be playing behind it. So Buzz has to call for help now as DRX are going to try and take B main, take the orb, potentially set up for... They've got multiple options. They could go for a lockdown play here, they could go for an ult command. It's a flash play or a recon.
Maybe he's just doing it straight up, man! He pulled for the recon, it was late, but he still gets 2 over the top. Foxy9! How's he managing that? No command, ripped him out. Spikes drop down into the middle of nowhere because EG players still anchoring towards the back. It's up to Jorgamo to hold this off as well, but Stacks needs to reclaim some ground. It's a 3-2-1 swing. EG managing it. Shots landed. Ethan turning up.
EG find the timing again there to try and disrupt what was happening. Very nice play. Constant, like, little re-clear setups are working very well. They re-cleared mid when Foxy9 was pressuring there. Ended up winning that. I think that was round 5. Now they do a re-clear play into B main. But you're right, the timing was not set up with the recon or with the flash. as far as I can tell.
Insane!
Everything's going right for EG.
But this is a very defense-sided map. DRX only need another, couple of rounds where somebody pulls out a miracle, be it Mako or anybody else, and suddenly they're not feeling that bad about how it's gone.
Cat pressure. Holding up. In his hands, the shot going wide. Dash forwards, paranoia to set this one up. They want to punish. Foxy9 is chasing him, his adversary. Mind control still there, smoke deep up top here. It's really putting the pressure onto the main player. Jorgamo doesn't know which way to look, doesn't know which way to face. TPs this way, that way, backwards into Wine. A fight to be taken, no kill found, but now he's got help at least. Flash peeking in, running him down. Jorgamo gonna be cleared out of Wine. Massive player advantage, but maybe it can be equalized still, trying to take up into Tree. It's all over the place. Not a fight to be taken, but slowed down now. It's a 2v4.
This looks like it's going to be DRX's third round and second thrifty win of the map. It's these all-in pieces with the lighter weaponry that EG are struggling to hold on to. Yeah, and EG are going to be forced to save. So this is what I'm talking about, Brent. It can be a fantastic half for EG where they thoroughly, completely outplay DRX. And yet the small moments of Mako going crazy or them winning a thrifty and the overall result can change quite a lot.
Yeah, I can get him over the line, the acceptable line. And think about Ascent as well.
To me, 4 is that line on Ascent.
Yeah, I would believe so. Although, if you follow the stats as well, if you're a bit of a nerd, and you do look in Pacific, it trends attack side for some reason.
In Pacific.
Yeah, for some reason, or for whatever reason that is. But globally, if you manage all of it, it ends up being a bit more defense favored. But still, I would agree with you. I think 4 rounds on attack should be enough, at least if you win the pistol round going into the second half.
Boostio is going to play off-site again and support Demon 1 because Stax has his null command available.
Another A main take. Here's a Hunter's Fury though. Right down, straight into the gut of the map. One shot lands, dodging, juking, Stax. Narrowly avoiding it.
But he did find Stax, so he knows that the null command is over towards A. That's important info.
Here's the paranoia. Dash forwards, ripped it through. Com, he's blind. Can't see anything. Spam into it. Counter spam. Ethan grabbing 2. Just from the backside of Jenny before eventually traded out, but it's again going to be that retake. Demon 1 exchanges the operator. He's got a rifle in his hands. He wants to try and potentially make a go of it. It's 2v3. Smokes dropped. A fake of the dash. Which way is he going? He's buying time for Boostio. It's caused a distraction, and now they have made it into a 2 versus 2. Got to spot out the players though. Mako still alive. Down to the side of Jenny. Didn't expect that one.
Another round on A, another 3 kills for Mako, though it was, to me, the entry play that worked much better that time. Foxy9 not getting caught in the choke point initially, able to dash into his smoke, follow up on the paranoia that Mako throws, and DRX finally get an A round that actually looks, like it went to their game plan rather than playing to EG's tunes. And they've recovered this. They have recovered this. In terms of the scoreline, this is now looking respectable, and there's still 2 rounds to go. Now, we were talking about this earlier, of course, in the NRG Na'Vi game, where it was a 6-6 half, and then NRG ran away with it on the attack side. So maybe it's a very different beast here, but DRX have knocked EG down onto a light buy.
Could be a tournament where those expectations are turned on their head. Oh my. As a judge, nice timing. Tags him, no. He was spotted.
Good awareness.
Yeah, really nice awareness. Even going for that re-swing. Straight into it. Inside the smoke, dodging, the util going over. Jorgamo still here though, inside the smoke, can't land a second. Attempt to reset with the Bulldog. Just spotting it. How is he grabbing the second? With Mako down. It's now into a 2 versus 2. They still don't have the weapons for it, but anything's possible with Demon 1, you never know. Door has to be broken. Post-plan positioning. How did DRX want to play this? Doubled up. One towards Jenny though, RB still holding for Tree. Slight gap in the play. Who takes first contact is Boostio. Spots it close, a wide swing and face. And Stax' head is ripped off, it's up to RB. He was a menace in map number 1. A tap onto it. Knows they're not sticking, but what a shot to land, man.
That's just a pre-fire. Expecting the peak timing. Oh, and that's a disaster for DRX. We've seen so many thrifties in this game. I think that's the 3rd round.
It's ludicrous.
where the team with the low advantage, the low economy, sorry, has taken the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a hero play by Demon One. This is what wins it for them.
Does he get a second, man? I mean,
oh, wow. And Mako's been so good for DRX, but that one lost duel kind of opened the door for Boostio to do this.
Ready.
they're feeling it. One round left in the half. Lockdown's available, Hunter's Fury. Here's a Nana Swarm. Close to logs. It's actually intended, I think, for a turret that takes contact. So it would break a turret if the defensive setup had it there, but that's shifted. We know this, of course. Shot dart as well. Does not land onto the alarm bot. It's kept up for EG. Now they're going to be feeling the heat, aren't they? Paranoia, that does connect. Boostio in a bit of trouble. The pathing up towards heaven. Spam onto the corner. The angle here. Foxy90 wins his fight. And RB wins the second. This is looking good for DRX. Wrapping around. Jorgamo left to anchor, but he's being swarmed, converged on his positioning. It's noted, and again, left down to Demon One and Com in the blink of an eye.
That is just the perfect round from DRX. The pathing is so specific to them as a team. DRX Leviathan love to run that strategy.
Use a lockdown. Foxy9 going for it, landing these shots. Spam, counter spam, backwards, forwards, 7-5. Very good scoreline here for DRX.
Yeah, what an awesome way to finish the half with a flawless round like that, where they barrel over, predict where Boostio is going to be based on his turret placement, and this is the crucial kill. Foxy finding the opening after a really slow start, where Foxy was 0-5. He ends the half positive at 9-8. Only a fraction behind Demon One.
Gotta sing his praises there. I mean, kid is absolutely stepping up. Let's send it down to the desk to break it all down.
Thank you very much, guys. Hypoc, a very slow start like Josh and Bren said, but what a recovery from DRX.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's actually on the other side. I think EG looking to slow things down, or I guess missing out on, I guess not finding the same value they did early on. And this is another map where we see examples of how good the reactive plays are. Yes, they're set plays, but it's reactive. And time again, they're able to secure a kill, find space, or at least find some information.
And so many of those plays have been built around Demon One. At the start of the game, it really was defined by him. We've been waiting for the map where the Demon One that we saw come out and shock everyone in Americas came alive. And we got that here. And well, it was him and EG who defined the first part of this half. DRX in this game were able to adapt, particularly the way they were playing towards these A-side executes. First few rounds, they were just running into the meat grinder, letting Foxy9 die, but they pivoted, made the mid-round call, and have now got themselves a very strong half.
Yeah, I mean, 1 is better than 9. Who knew, Mike? I wanted to squeeze that in. I'm sorry, who knew?
You got it in there.
Yeah, but as we move on to the second half, on Fracture, Mike, it was a disaster for DRX on the second half. But getting 5 rounds on the attack, it's good.
Yeah, definitely. I think Marco's the one that's ultimately able to pull DRX back into a recoverable position, but recovery factor hasn't really looked great for DRX so far. I guess here in Tokyo as well. Talking about yesterday, their win conditions relied heavily on players popping off when they were player deficit, conceding first bloods. That's got to be a concern in the second half, where you expect Demon One to pile the pressure back onto DRX.
Yeah, it can absolutely be concerning. But as the casters are talking about, DRX is actually weaker on their defensive side. This map trends way differently in Pacific, and EG's mid-rounding on the attacking side has improved so much. In playoffs against the top teams, they were doing quite well on the attacking side and managed to make comebacks possible. And 7-5, that's very doable.
Well, DRX, they have to win this half, Josh and Bren, if they want to go through to playoff stage today.
Yeah, not only that, also got to win this one to take it to that third map, because they're trailing. It's EG leading in the series overall, and all eyes on the top of the scoreboard for EG. Demon One versus Foxy9, a battle of these rookies as well. Hopefully see the continuation of that on the Jet.
Yeah, especially with Foxy9 now heating up. I think this is the half where Foxy can get put onto angles. You see him playing alone in mid at the moment, while Demon One's with the rest of the team. Talking to Boostio, he said that it's very easy to call for a player like Demon One, because Demon will just tell you where he wants to play on the map, and they use a little bit of utility to get him posted up, and then they can just leave him to go and find his picks.
Jump spot, it's wide. Mako, he's got a smoke out in his hands. The util is all mistimed here. Foxy9 seeking to put a stop to it as well. He dashes all the way in and it's cancelled. The call is made by EG. They don't want to rush into it.
Yeah, Demon 1 used his dash backwards to disengage, which I think is fine in this situation. So they go up 5v4, but they can't go back into a normal A exec. If they want to hit this, it's got to be an A split again because they don't have that dash to break crossfires.
That's why Boostio's repositioned. It's already taken that cat control, but it is watched for RB. Reload, jiggle, off to the side. A chance for Boostio.
You got to respect his Sheriff.
Yep. Rattles one of the shots. He's got 5 bullets left. There's a dart over the top. Looks like a push attempt into tree. Over the top is going to be lighting him up with a turret. Takes it. Dart over the top as well. Has to be dealt with. Bit of a pre-fire. Watchful eyes onto the smoke. There's 20 seconds left. Starting to run a bit short of the time. RB pushing through this way, that way, and around. It's all about the anchoring. It's all about how you dodge and duck and weave, but it's up to Buzz. Everybody falls onto the site. 1v3 with Ethan low. It's always a chance.
Buzz won an incredible clutch in map 2 yesterday. 1v3, I believe, to get them into a good position, but this one just looks even harder.
I mean, the one way you can't see.
Being peppered down.
Health advantage not there anymore. Dart broken. Time. You can hear it ticking. No mercy, really, is there? Neither is Buzz with this ghost, but again, I feel like it's just running too short.
Yeah, no time.
Blink of an eye, lovely attempt at things. Drops right down, he realized that there was really no chance.
That's EG getting a pistol round that will be imperative for them. It's one of those swing pistols where it's not necessarily getting the team back into the game, but EG, attack side ascent, we don't really know which way this is going to go. And a pistol round just reduces the amount that you need to get done. One of the big themes of how EG have been playing their attack side in Americas is inserting Demon 1 around the map. So they use utility to push him into an area, and then they almost leave him like a lurk entry player.
Yeah, it's really quite interesting.
It's interesting, and it also worked extremely well against Loud, who up until that point had only lost something like twice ever on Ascent.
Go around for DRX, attempting something a little bit cheeky. Did have the turret to take contact in a spam angle with the Sheriff, but EG, of course, slowed all the way down here. Exploring into mid, looking this way, that way, trying to find out, okay, are we running into a stack or not? Stacks, he attempts to reposition there. It'll be that easy plan for EG. They'll get this one down with no troubles. So you're looking at that 9-6. If everything goes correct for them, assuming Com doesn't get taken out, actually. It's in a dangerous position. Oh, okay.
He deals with it.
Yeah.
He's still got 2 players behind, though, so he probably will get wrapped here. The question really is, do they do it quickly enough? Is there any chance, even then, that they can win the 3v4? But I don't think Com's got much chance against this.
Okay. 3 versus 3. Time is ticking. Ethan, this way, that way. Dodge and juking, baiting for Boostio. Making sure that no crosshairs are placed onto him, and yet time is running short here with the nanoswarms as well. Should be a safe win overall, but DRX can still do some significant damage here to the economy. Wider face. Very spam, nanoswarm at his feet. 3 players surviving.
They're not going to be too worried about that. A chance to convert a bonus, and EG have been pulling out set plays on their bonus rounds. They haven't just been trying to run default stuff, so I'm going to be taking a look at the minimap here and seeing if they've got any kind of interesting looking ideas. For DRX though, the comeback has to start now.
Has to be.
You need to get the momentum, you need to get things under your feet to be able to hold on. And one of the features of DRX's play on defense here, one of the reasons maybe why they're not as good as some of the other top teams on this half, they don't support Foxy9 very much. He's just kind of left alone on an island to go and take his own fights in mid and battle the enemy utility.
Hard task. A lot of this map really being how well can you set up your jet players. Spam on spam. Just his job. Seeking to contain. Just a battle and brawl over that B main control. And here's Demon 1 in that lower position. You were talking about it earlier, Josh. They're setting themselves up now for a bit of a B split. Going through, there's a flash just to offset it. Shock Dart close to the corner. Again, damage done. Nano Swarm deaded now, but Demon One's already in here with a Guardian in hand. Dash also alive and active. Forwards into the site, close to the corner. He knew where Buzz was and he lands it. TP through, blind as anything. Spammable, swarmed. Over the top was Foxy9. He was trying to help him out, but he's just delivered them a rifle.
And look at that, the way that Demon One turns from a lurk into an entry. It is so unique. I don't see any other teams doing this with this level of consistency or value. There's a lot of lurking Jets out there. You find them in ranked every day of the week. But there is nobody that plays it quite like EG and Demon One. DRX are just going to be forced to save here, and we said that this was a must-win for them to get something started. The bonus rounds have just been unbelievable by EG.
Yeah, always an idea thrown into the mix. Anything to offset the economic disadvantage that he might be facing here because, man, I mean, you're looking at 10-5. Previous map was what, 13-5?
Yep. Destructive. It could well be a 13-5. That's the level of momentum that EG have managed to generate.
Okay.
That's a different plan position, boys.
Whose fault is that?
Right. Well,
Where do we plant, guys?
The vibes were good before, but now people are going to be pissed.
He's like, okay, who planted? What's going on there?
Did we catch it in the replay? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Not even sure, man. That's
I think
so
it was
funny.
Ethan.
That is so funny.
It's not going to hurt them.
Oh,
It's not going to hurt their economy at all. I mean, not for the moment. We'll see.
They take it in their stride. Turret, contact, Buzz. Only the Sheriff.
And we've talked a little bit about the vibes of this team, Brent. But how could the vibes not be immaculate when they didn't expect to be in America's playoffs? They got that out of a miracle upset that occurred. They were like, okay, right, well, that's just free for us. Why not? And then they go through, they're playing in Tokyo. What? How have we managed that? That's phenomenal. They think they're not playing with Demon One. Oh, that's unfortunate. Never mind, though. We'll have a nice trip. What? Demon One can play? I mean, it's just incredible effort we ball kind of attitude with this team. Like, everything that could have gone well has gone well for EG on this run. It's superb.
Twists and turns in the tail of EG, and they are making the most of it. At times it feels like they're playing with house money, but they got preparation behind them.
Absolutely.
And a clear desire to make strides here at Tokyo.
Here we go, though. Foxy9 could actually be a bit of a wrench in the machine here.
Hit him, barreling up towards Cat there. They make a tremendous amount of noise. Spike dropped down, he's still got the rifle. Tap needs some help. There's the rest of his team as well to supplement. Aiming still held here by Mako. Adjustments necessary with the aim. Let's collect that second one. Moving their way up though, now towards heaven. There's 14 seconds left into this. What is going on, man? It's ludicrous. 7 seconds remaining. They can't even get themselves onto the site. It's all over the place. No chance to win the round now for EG. Time was really just bled out of them. And it was Foxy9 to be the difference maker.
Yeah, the
Pushed
two
up
players.
position.
The two players with rifles, him and Mako. Foxy from mid, Mako from site.
We were telling a bedtime story. The tale of EG.
But that's another thrifty that DRX get online. And they've had tons of those. Really, really found a lot of their success through getting those thrifty round wins. I think this is their third in the map. And it's helped them a lot. And listen, here's where 3 players dying to the spike from EG actually might end up being important. Because either this one or the next could well be an economic swing round.
Good play a part. Operators there for Foxy9. Flash repeat Mako. Disrespectful. That's how he's playing this A main control. Just trying to take the fight straight to them. It's a bit of a different approach actually. Usually on the defensive setup at DRX, they are quite passive. They tend to wait for people to come towards them. So them playing more actively towards A main is a difference. Drone now towards mid. See if they can take out the alarm bot. It's dealt with. A minute left in the round. This reposition by Foxy9 could be everything. Vital. Operators here. Are they going to walk right into it? It's a paranoia, man. They've got layers. Levels to it. Offset this way, that way. Pivot, RB pushed into mid. Ready for them. The spray transfer. It's beautiful. 2 targets found. The spike dropped into the middle of nowhere. Giacomo.
Well, how's he done that?
Towards A, but RB still needs to contain the shock dart at his back. He's brought down. It's 2 versus 2. Giacomo's got the spike. He's on A.
He needs help, though. Boostio's got to get here as quickly as possible.
There's that free plant smoke towards door. TP's back away. Foxy9 still creeping across into heaven. Doubled up, him and Buzz. Time has been bought. Boostio is there, but they don't actually know really where these players are. Finding the positioning now, though. How does this get played? Jumping down, trying to bait a swing or something. Fight is there. Boostio still alive, but Foxy9, he responds and he lands it.
Gotta see the replay of how Giacomo even made that one possible, but it's RB that opens things up. RB did so much work in mid there to make things possible for DRX, and that's the 2nd round in a row where DRX have found value by reactively pushing mid. That's what Foxy9 did on the eco round, and now you see the Sova, just a raw Sova in mid, making a push in order to catch the EG players off as they rotate around the map.
So whatever it takes.
Yeah, and it's working really nicely right now. DRX have identified an issue with how EG rotate around the map. Maybe the fact that they are less thoughtful of the reclears. Because it's not some kind of big elaborate utility reclear. It's just one quiet contacting player up mid. There's a lot of risk to doing that, but it's working out very well for DRX.
Let's force this timeout. EG taking a bit of a backseat here. Potter going to be dishing out some advice, adjustments that need to be made. But you are right, it's these little reclears that are happening. Maybe they've just got the read as well. When the mid default gets used, smoke drop down, alarm bot's broken. There's not really too much bite behind it. I mean, sometimes they're leaving Demon 1 pushed up in that position.
Right, but even in those instances, it's only Demon 1 there. Against the way that EG like to play, where they push and insert Demon 1 into spots, doing big reclears with utility is actually a very good counterplay from the defense. Because not only do you gain that map control back, there's also a serious chance that you catch Demon 1 in those positions and end up getting map control and a pick out of it. So I love that idea conceptually as a way that DRX could approach Ascent defense. They haven't really been going for that, though. They haven't been going for these big utility reclears. It's just been, you know, Foxy9 walking up mid, seeing if he can find what's going on, and it's all based off the information that other DRX players are feeding those mid players.
The Knight's waited out and the no command's there. Speed it up, why not? Foxy9, what a shot to hit still. On any of the targets, there's Ethan, so he can be brought back up. A warbang attempt.
Good try.
On his body, a lovely attempt. Doesn't quite land it though, and now you're still feeling it all the way through. No one's watching lane. Paranoia is there. Hunter's Fury. It's all coupled together. A dodge, a dash to disengage and avoid all of this coming your way, but EG are so fast with it, man. They're taking the space, but the spike has dropped down into the open.
Yeah, that's
reclaim this.
Player advantage and good post-plant positions, but the problem is you're not in a post-plant.
Mako, he's holding. That's the Paranoia off the face of the contact. The fights are being won out.
Wow.
2v3. Spike has been picked up, and guess what, Com? He's running out of there. He's like, I want nothing to do with this. Do your best, Ethan. I'm leaving you, mate.
Com in a 1v3. We've seen this guy close out before.
Site, yeah.
6 and 11 right now.
30
He has had some incredibly hot moments.
That's cheeky. Okay. Don't know what. Yeah. I mean, what's he going for there? But
I mean, that kind of recon dart would only be used if you were playing towards main, for example, right? So he's trying to bait them based on the positioning.
How hard is this clearance? Very hard. RB.
Nice idea.
Yeah. Not sure if you heard a footstep or what, but incredible awareness.
Yeah, very good awareness. And the whole point of that recon dart is to make you think that he couldn't be in heaven.
Yeah.
That the recon was for information instead. So, we were talking a lot about how good EG's set plays were and how much they were tactically outplaying DRX on the first map. DRX managing to take that one off Mako's Paranoia and contact. I mean, first of all, the spike being down was the major problem, right? Because otherwise they're in a nice spot. But it's this play, look. They take contact off Buzz, and that forces a Paranoia out, and then Buzz and RB are able to collect kills. It's a really nice setup that they've just strung together on the fly to be able to get this back within 2. And This is where attack side ascent becomes really sticky. It feels like you're so close to the finish line. We only need 3 more, but Fiji are saying that to themselves, maybe underestimating how difficult it can be.
Yeah, they can be some of the hardest rounds to really get over the finish line. Flash pop out is at a half buy from EG. Fully grouped up, at least with the 4 of them. Using it as a chance to farm up some ults.
And you see Boostio here, lurking in mid. That may have been an adjustment coming out of Potter's timeout.
Get out of my way!
You know, that does seem like a good idea against what DRX were doing, going for those reactive pushes from Foxy9 and RB.
Knife over the top, that's going to be a drone tagging. The Boostio doesn't see too much else though. Grouped up still. It's going to be heat being turned up, I think, for DRX. Foxy9 narrowly avoiding it. Flash over. Smoke drop down as well. Another tag. Really just lit up entirely. Foxy9 can't take a clean fight. They're into the back of the site towards it, this way, that way. Running and gunning. Ethan, he's removed them. He's found a second, not 2. Still all the way through. Foxy9, and Jussie gets 3. A knife as well, pushing them all the way back into the site. There you go. Lockdown, ready and waiting. There are tools. DRX could offset this. They have the Hunter's Fury. They want to choose to use it. They want to try and play for it.
And Boostio is going to push.
Yep, pushing off of this. Buzz was watching. So the lockdown, it's removed.
Now Buzz with a lockdown of his own, and Com has repositioned to try and anticipate that.
Is he watching it? Lockdown's there. Buzz, he's low. Brought down.
I like this. Com isn't rushing it. He knows that there's going to be a second player here. This is just a game of chicken.
With RB waiting it. Lands it. Force it into a 1 versus 1. Necessary for DRX. Time is short. You can hear the spike ticking away. A tap onto it. Sticking it through now. Jiggling with the fire. A shot! Silence for RB! That is just spectacular.
What an incredible play towards the end there from RB. Ethan going for the pre-aims, just missing the head on his little jiggle peaks. But he made it very predictable what he was going for, and RB knew there was no wide swing coming. Ethan had done so much. I mean, those 3 kills just come out of nowhere. It felt like he was destined to close the round in the same way that he'd opened it up. You can see he's heartbroken about it, because that drags the map with 1 round separating these 2.
So much credit. I got to give it to RB there in that clutch scenario. A lot of pro players, even if they are pro players, they get flustered in spots like that. The jiggling, they lose their nerve, they get off the spike, they don't start sticking to the fuse, but RB knows the only win condition, the only way he can play to his out is by sticking it to halfway and landing the shot, and he does it like that.
RB has been phenomenal in the clutch this year, and yeah, it's so impressive from a player that previously was receiving a ton of criticism, and I think fair criticism, for having choking performances at big LAN events. When they would get deep in the playoffs, he wasn't really turning up. And since he's swapped his role over to be the flex for DRX, he's just found way more opportunities to play in the late round, to play supportively, and he's been a nightmare for other teams to deal with. We'll take a look at this moment just again and see the way that Ethan was playing it. I mean, he's just catching tiny glimpses, tiny glimpses.
It's just amazing.
The way that both players are playing it is perfectly appropriate, but yeah, monstrously good from RB to hit the shot at the end there on a
One round, man. 1 round sort of stands between DRX being able to equalize, get to 10 to 10. Thinking about where they begun as well. Losing the pistol rounds. They've had to claw back.
They're waiting for a reaction here. They're so confident that DRX are going to go for some flash push.
It's because Mako's been fighting it.
Yeah.
But put that fear and conditioning into them.
They just allow them to get it. So Jorgamo was tapping it first to try and bait out a reaction, and then Ethan actually takes the ult orb to be able to get his null command online. Here's that little piece of reaction from Foxy9. He knows that there was a few in A main, so he's going to walk forwards in mid.
Sees the flash. Plays anti. Dart at his feet. This is dangerous. Has to use it to get out of there.
So good awareness from EG to deal with the problem that's been hurting them in a couple of rounds so far. But that's only half the puzzle. You've gained some map control, sure, but where are you going to end? How are you going to get there?
There's 40 seconds left. Time might be a problem. Look at how scattered the EG players are. I mean, they are spread out equally across the map right now. It's like they're playing a slow default, but no command's ripped off. This is straight down mid.
It's a big fake.
It's obfuscated, yeah. They're trying to fake it like it's an A split, but now straight through to the middle of the map to B split. Now the Odin spam! Making short work still. TP into the back, shoring up the defenses. Trying to anchor it up. Players drop down onto lane here. Dart at the back, spammable potentially. Over the top is Foxy9 into the smoke. He expects it. 10 seconds remaining. This way, that way. Shorty's not enough. 7 seconds. There is time. Mako denied. He can't stop the defuse. And all the players watching. The position's there. It's a 1v2. Stax is running as fast as he could to try and help out. It's left up to him, the IGL. It's had a hard task of it at the beginning of this tournament. A bit of spam, common warbangs. He's got to force these fights out. Players are low, but Demon 1 never lacks the confidence. So eager to take the fight there.
And they still had that second layer of comm hiding behind, ready to trade him if it failed. So another very good setup. That round, though, was on a razor-thin edge. The timing being the biggest issue. And you can completely see why Mako would try and sacrifice his own life to stop the plan. If he manages to get a wide swing off there, he's won the round.
Oh, he wins the round, yeah, easily.
But EG are just able to get that one by a thread, by the tiniest margin. And it forces another timeout. I feel like the coaches have had so much impact in these games. They've been constantly adding their input, maximizing the amount that they can talk to the teams. I think both coaches are really going to want to talk to try and both get their, get EG over the line and get DRX straight back into things.
Yeah, I think this is, I mean, you get tested here. There's nothing quite like it on the international stage. You're playing in front of all these people. Pushed to your limits.
And that's what makes it even more impressive to me that EG are turning up. We've seen so many teams that do very well domestically, regionally, and then they turn up to the global events and they're not ready. Or, even though they felt like they were ready, it just got to them. The moment, the pressure, overwhelming. And yet EG, for all of the inexperience on this roster, they're still here, they're still performing. And something we haven't seen from them, tactically, is Demon 1 attack opping very much. And as you can see, he's going to pick it up in this round. 19 kills, attack side op. Not necessarily going toe-to-toe with Foxy9, but looking, I would imagine, more to get posted up in an area and see if he can generate a pick with it.
Change in the setup. Oh, Foxy9, this is so brave, man. Dash isn't even active. It's being watched for. Demon 1!
How has he got the read?
How is he expecting it?
That's ludicrous. I mean, we know that DRX have been going for mid-pushes occasionally, but to predict it exactly coming out of the timeout?
Yeah, I mean...
What is that read?
That's just different. Yeah. Someone's been doing their homework, that's for sure.
EG known VOD watchers. And thinkers.
Oh, man.
So yeah, there's the pick that they're looking for. And often Demon 1 will swap weapons with Boostio in order to entry for them too. So that off doesn't necessarily slow him down on the attack.
Breaking some util. Smoke drop down at a choke point just to fake like he could be walking through. Well, he's crossing onto the other side.
Remember that the time was an issue for EG in the previous round. It almost lost them it. And there you go, there's that weapon swap I was talking about. Demon 1 picks up the Vandal, Boostio up in. 30 seconds, not even.
It's running short. Buzz has to be the difference, doesn't he? Recon dart to the side, that's dealt with. Over the top, he's being supported, has to deal with it, and he does break it. Smoke to dash through into it. Can Buzz get anything done here? Has to anchor it as the player. Adjust with the aim, only the one. Inside the nade, RB holds his ground, waits it out through the smoke, deals with Demon 1. Off to the side, he just can't survive. Enough time. Plant's going to be stuck now into the post. 3 players, though, grouped up towards the back of the side for EG. It's not the greatest post plant in the world, but they do have that player advantage. Mako and Stax against the world. Nate is close to the corner. Flash and Paranoia is used together. Blinded back and forth, this way, that way, behind Dice as well, not watching. Dart is there, and Boostio watches. The sightline's set. And It's EG who find themselves on series point.
And playoffs point. One round and EG have instantly accomplished their goal of being able to make playoffs. What a read that was. And EG, even with time pressure, able to bait out a wave of defensive utility before they committed. Very impressive stuff. One round away from making top 8 in this tournament, going through the groups in 2-0 fashion, proving all of the EG doubters wrong.
It comes down to this. You keep yourselves into it if you're DRX. This is heavy aggression into A main. Very passive position by Jogomo that he's holding. Are they going to try and flash repeak into main here? Yeah, it looks like there was an attempt.
And Jogomo's taking contact, though. He knows that this is happening, and might accelerate the B push. It should give them options to try and B split, but they're waiting for Com to clear it with the drone.
So mid's there, Shocked Art will be landing, I think, into mid.
You think about this too, though. EG don't actually want to react quickly into areas because they're still trying to attack up with Demon 1.
It does slow them down. Minute. This could be the finisher. The weaponry's not good.
Here.
We've actually
having to scrape at the bottom of the barrel for this buy.
Yeah, but the bad weaponry hasn't stopped them before. We've seen 3, 4 thrifties in this map so far. Or at least low eco wins.
Can they turn it around yet again? Indecisive, 40 seconds.
Yeah, and this time
way, that way.
They don't have a pick.
Faking, I think. TP into the back, dart over the top, Hunter's Fury. It really does feel like it's going to be a B hit. Jogomo, man!
But he's drawn 3 players there.
He has, and that was the goal because the spike is making its way over here. Mako, he has to deny. Finds the first. Main compromise, this way, that way, dashing forwards. TPs abound.
What is going on?
It's all over the place, man. Anarchy. A wide swing from Mako, a wide face. So dangerous, dropping down, smoke at his feet. Demon 1 with the knives. All the way through, he lands the first. Into the way, finds the second. Will it be the finisher? Flash through, Abby will not be able to do it. EG are going to playoffs.
Off the back of an insane Demon 1 finisher. We were waiting for this guy to turn up. Yesterday, not really required. Map 1 playing Brimstone, but the Jet head-to-head hyped up, savored, and delivered.